This is the 300 subscriber milestone shoutout extravaganza. Every time I hit a 50 subscriber milestone, so the next video will be at 350 subscribers, I try to do a shoutout video. I usually delete the video after a few months, so if you can't find my other shoutout videos, probably why. Because they're really only relevant for a short amount of time anyway. So yeah, the criteria for joining the list is that they have to make videos on a pretty regular basis. In fact, most of these channels I picked by going through my subscriber list and just simply scrolling down on the videos uploaded by subscribers daily. Also, I neglected a lot of channels which have over 1 million views because you've probably already heard of them. You know, places like SourceFed and the Young Turks. You've already heard of them, they don't need another shout out because you've heard of them already. So, let's begin. Atheist Voice is the first one I came across, because he uploaded a video like a couple hours ago. And he's basically, his background is he's like a PE teacher or something like that. He's an atheist. He's kind of an everyday man. He comes off like an everyman, and he just talks about atheist issues. And he runs a blog, and he's sometimes very activistic. Like there was a theology professor in the theology school who wanted to live like an atheist for a year, and he got fired for it. So Atheist Voice, the friendly atheist, Hermit Meta, all of his names, whatever, he came together to help the guy out. So he does like fundraising for people who need money due to losing money from being an atheist. So he does atheist activism and great atheist videos, Atheist Voice. And I'm not going to link to all these channels because that would take too long. I'm just going to copy pasta this list I have here because I'm reading from my list, if you're wondering why I keep looking over to the right or my left. The next one is extra credits, which should go along with game theory. And game theory has to do more with like creative artistic interpretations of games, whereas extra credit is more into game design, like the free-to-play model, good or bad? What about microtransactions? How do we fit those into games? Eastern versus Western RPGs, agency in games, free will, individuality in games, game controversies, functionality versus simplicity in games, like all that really cool stuff. Trust me, if you go to Extra Credits YouTube channel, if you are into games at all, you're going to watch like tons of their videos. They're very addicting. And if I keep looking up rather than straight at the camera, there's a mirror right behind you. Next one up is the dnews and the vsauce. dnews, like SourceFed, but with sciencey stuff rather than newsy stuff. In fact, some SourceFed people go to dnews once in a while. They have like a partnership thing. Also, Lacey Green is on dnews. So I'll kind of mix those shoutouts together. Lacey Green's pretty awesome, and she's on dnews. Anyway, and then there's vsauce. What's really great about vsauce is that he does philosophy all the time in his videos. But people in America know so little about philosophy that they don't realize when they watch a vsauce video that they're probably watching a philosophy video. They probably think vsauce is a science channel when really it's a philosophy channel. But anyway, they do science sometimes too. It's mostly philosophy. And it's vsauce. He's very awesome. He's the awesome. The next is Rob Lester, and he also should be paired with someone else in this shout out. So jwfairytales and Robert Lester should be paired because they're very similar. jwfairytales started out as a Jehovah's Witness, realized it was crap, got kicked out of Jehovah's Witness, and now he makes videos about how Jehovah's Witness is a cult and is a scary place. Robert Lester, he wasn't born in a cult or anything as crazy like jwfairytales, but he was into New Age stuff, was into spiritualism and fortune telling and all that, Glastonbury type stuff, and then he realized it was bogus and BS, so now he devotes his channel to debunking New Age spiritualist BS. Oh yeah, there's another channel, Mortimer, which does that. I think it's spelled like M-A-R-T-Y-M-E-R, something like that. Anyway, Next one is Thinking Atheist. It's like the Atheist voice. I really should have paired those two together too. Thinking Atheist, guy used to be a radio show host for a Christian news station, and now he does atheist podcasts. So I guess he's similar to jwfairytales and Buster in that sense. Next one is Steve Shives and Cult of Dusty. They both do rants. The only thing is, like, one's kind of like, he's from the north and he has like a northern stereotype about him, and the other one's from the south and has like a southern stereotype about him. They just do rants about geeky stuff and atheism and politics and stuff. And that's Steve Shives and Cult of Dusty. Next is Lee Lemon. She's another one of these like random independent atheist YouTube channels that's really good. She's pretty darn active. And yeah, that's Lee Lemon. It's not a real name, by the way. It's from that Futurama episode where Leela joins the military. Official... These two need to be paired for sure. Officalgatg, officalgatg, and some guy 827. They're both demographically similar, and they just do angry ranting videos, usually against Onision. But yeah, they're just ranters and they're pretty good, very entertaining. Next up is seculartalk, another atheist channel. Think like the Young Turks or David Pakman, but way more likable than David Pakman or Young Turks. Way more down to earth. At least I feel that seculartalk is a lot more relatable than those other guys. I don't know, I feel like my personality has been more similar with that guy than the other types. So that's why I like him. Plus, his points are really good, and he's really well thought out, and yeah, seculartalk, check it out. I always try to add one super controversial channel to my shout-out list, and ramzpaul is that super controversial video channel that I'm going to be shouting out. ramzpaul. I don't even want to explain him. You should just go explore ramzpaul yourself. mundanematt, another ranter. He's a ranter like some guy 827, but he has a lot about games and a lot about atheism. So he's kind of similar to the other ones, but he's like melding in a way. So yeah, ranter, rants about. He's done some things about Aeneas Accesian recently. Which speaking of that, I also want to shout out Tool Time. It's like Tool Time and some numbers, so I'll add that down in the copy pasta down there. Next up is Sexplanations. Like Lacey Green, both a PhD. And also the person who does Sexplanations is like 10 times nerdier than Lacey Green. I think her name's Dr. Doe. She's like the geekiest woman on earth, or she comes off that way, and she does Sexplanations. Sexology. It's pretty fantastic. Next up is brittanysofficial. It's more of a vlog than a ranting thing, but it's a vlog. So if you want to know what normal people are like, brittanysofficial, do that. She's pretty normal. Yeah, she's like the normalest person ever. And then there's the minute channels. There's Minute Earth, Minute Physics. It's pretty much Minute Math. I think there's a Minute Math. It's a sciencey channels. And the other sciencey channels would be Computer Phile and Number Phile. Computer Phile, Number Phile are both, they're engineering level type channels, and they're really great, and I recommend them heavily. The next one is probably the geekiest channel I'm going to mention, and it's Skallagrim. Skallagrim is mostly about sword fighting and medieval weapon collecting issues. But he also goes on rants. Like he did one video about how like the reason why we have Christmas, or one of the reasons why, is because winter sucks, and we need some kind of holiday during winter so that we can get over the fact that it sucks when it's winter. And I think he did some atheism videos too. So he does some things where he talks about his opinion on things, but it's usually about sword stuff. So it's really great. Lastly is Philosophy Lines. Philosophy Lines mainly focuses on videos critiquing stuff on Molyneux. So yeah, not much more can be said. You'll just to get what I mean, you're just gonna have to go check out Philosophy Lines. So yeah, that's it. And if you want another look, this is the list. Not the full list because it doesn't have jwfairytales because I didn't even think about adding him until I was in the middle of doing this video. But yeah, that's it.